Hello everyone, and welcome back to Showing Off My Art. I've got for you today 9 people this time, and this time I'm actually going to remember to do 9 people. But I've got for you 9 people to show you here today, continuing off on our journey after showing you some pyro dangles at the end of the last one. This time we continue forth with our variants of the Sparkies and return once more to Brawl Stars. So, without further ado, we start off with one I'm actually really excited to talk about. A variant of Sparky that some of you may know and some of you probably don't. But this Sparky, and if it looks a bit more animated, it's because it's the Sparky from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which is a massive part of my childhood. So obviously this one is the same shape as the body of the other Sparks from the previous episode. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't go back and check that one out. But this one, I mean, it's not the most interesting personality-wise. It didn't have the most intense color palette. It didn't take me that long to draw. But it's so old school. It's even got the pie-shaped eyes. It's nice, you know? I personally appreciate it. It holds a lot of character, if you ask me, despite its simplicity. And it's got a distinct, unique look, and that's all you can really ask for, and I think it's really neat. I do. So that's what we're starting off with. Pretty basic. Next, we got the Magnet Sparks from Mario vs. Donkey Kong March of the Minis. Now these guys are a bit, I will say, while the design of this character isn't very interesting on its own merit, I do appreciate the smaller pupils. A lot of these characters, as you've seen in the previous episode and this one, they have a lot of bigger eyes, right? There's a lot of Mario characters with big eyes. There's very few of them with very small eyes, and this one happens to be one of the few. And so it feels distinct in that regard and actually has a bit of a definitive factor in that case. Of course, it's nothing special. It's a ball, really, that I'm pretty sure is the same size. Yep, the body is the same size as the other Sparks, which just so happens to be blue with some pelts out on the sides. But no, I something about the small eyes. I think it really brings character to this piece.
28 stab wounds. You didn't want to leave him a chance, huh?
Alright, that's much better. As I was saying, you know, there's not much to this guy, but the small eyes, at least to me, and how I have to analyze characters to draw, it adds a bit of flavor and character that I haven't seen too much out of others. There's like a subtle intensity there, and I appreciate it. That's 2 down. Next up, this character actually is directly from Paper Mario, and this is Watt. W-A-T-T, this is Watt. It's a weird thing to discuss when I have to draw Paper Mario characters, because they've already been paperized, so I'm really just translating from the screen to the paper. You know, from the screen to the ring to the pen to the... Shut up. Really, there wasn't much ingenuity or creative kind of chutzpah I had to put in. It was really just look at this paper character and put this paper character up here. Just not to say that I'm troubled by it. Watt holds a little bit of personality. I haven't actually played any of the Paper Mario games outside of Paper Mario Color Splash. So I don't know too much about Watt. I haven't played whichever one Watt's from. I haven't seen it or anything. But Watt looks to hold a lot of personality. If I'm not mistaken, he might be an ally that can help Mario. But he could also just be a side character for all I know. But this is Watt. I don't really have much else to say on it, if I'm completely honest with you. That's 3. We're a third of the way through. Next up is this guy, and I can't remember if he has a special name. So these next guys, they actually aren't just called Sparky, but they are specifically from Super Mario Land 3, or Wario Land. and they look like this. Green balls with pincers that jet out in specific directions. Another very basic one. This one translated pretty well. It's not difficult to do. I haven't played either of those games, but it's there. I'm pretty sure the pincers are made of the same yellow that Watt was made out of. But there's, again, not much to talk about with this one outside of it. I kind of like how it, like, for as much as the ball can be, it's in an action pose, you know, and I can appreciate that. And I do enjoy kind of that look of it, of like in the middle of an action, but there's not much more to say on it, so I'm just gonna keep moving forward. But I did enjoy Spark. I did enjoy drawing it. I think these were all fun to do, just not the most creative or enticing. And also, sorry, if I'm ever making weird faces, I'm trying to fight off a sneeze. But now we get to Brawl Stars. We've spent the other 5 characters looking at Brawl Stars characters, because the last Brawl Stars character we did was Buzz, who was an epic, or mythic. Buzz was a mythic. And so, no, because we did Chester. Wait. What is happening? Because we did Chester, and Chester was a legendary, and no, Chester's not a legend. Is Chester a legend? Chester's a legendary. So we did Chester, and then we did Buzz. Oh, no. No, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It does not. Yeah, I don't know why I did Buzz. I wish I could say. I'm just realizing that now. I don't understand why I did Buzz, because I keep explaining it. I don't know if I've explained it. I go through a list to keep things organized and everything, to keep things fair and whatnot. We go through an order by rarity. My best friend Parker picks what brawler I'm gonna draw from Brawl Stars by rarity. And there's, you know, a handful of rarities. There's rare, super rare, epic, mythic, legendary, ultra legendary. It used to be chromatic, but that changed. In any case, unless Buzz was still when they were chromatic brawlers. Oh. Were there still chromatic brawlers when Chester was released? It must be. In any case, I guess it would have been 2023 when I finished Generation 11, so that does make sense. Okay, never mind, I figured everything out. But, for those of you who don't know, we do it in a roster, so we go in order, and then when we hit Ultra Legendary, we go back down to, rare and everything. And if I finish all the brawlers in rarity, we just skip that rarity and everything. So Buzz must have been still a chromatic at that time, because at the time chromatics were above legendary brawlers in terms of status, and before they all got shuffled around and put into different variants. I'm gonna blow my nose again. So I was confused because my next brawler is a super rare, but that actually does make sense now, because Chester was a legendary, Buzz was a chromatic at the time, and we finished all the rares, so now we're on the super rares. And Parker's chosen super rare for me at this time was a brawler that I've already previously shown you done, but had a redesign, a character model shift. So it meant I could put her back on the table as, you know, a means of being drawn, and then do everything, you know, up to that point. So I believe she's of roughly the same size and everything, but this is the remodeled Penny, which was pretty new after the rework, and I remember enjoying her redesign too much when it first happened, but I think it translated very well. Her head was made from her pin. That's where I took my inspiration for that. with obviously some minor adjustments, but this is Penny. It's a lot more cleaned up in terms of look than when I drew her other model. I don't remember her other model too well. I'd have to check some photos and stuff, but Penny here was, I actually really appreciate how this one's turned out, at least in hindsight. I think it's got a good amount of vibrancy without being too pushy with it. You can tell what's going on everywhere, there's no colors that are really clashing with each other, everything's quite clear. And it just, she's a good size, everything's proportioned properly, everything's well defined. She's got a hole right there, but otherwise, I'm actually very, very pleased with how this Penny turned out. And yeah, she fits on one page, but all of them do. I try to make all the brawlers roughly the same height. And that works out to varying degrees of success. So, yeah, that is base Penny. And that's number 5. That is number 5, right? Because I'm not making that mistake again. Yes, it is. So that's Penny. And that's number 5. Number 6, to get into some of her skins, this is Bunny Penny. Again, another one that I'd previously drawn, but now I'm drawing again with the remodel. Bunny Penny is alright. It's not my favorite skin in game either. I think she definitely went a little bit taller than I intended because she has cut right there and right there. This one is dealing in at least 3 to 4 different shades of pink, and on camera it can translate. On camera it does actually look like it translated pretty well. I'm looking at it here and it does look a bit busy, like a bit of a mess. It doesn't look as clean on my end as it does on camera, but I can honestly appreciate that in a sense. And yes, this one is definitely taller. Yeah, but yeah, I'd say there's like 4 different pinks. 4 different pinks going on in this version of Penny, obviously traced off the original. That's number 6. Number 7 is True Silver Penny, just default Penny traced with a silver Sharpie that allows her to look really good when I shine the light on it. Otherwise, she is no different in color. I mean, no different in size or shape. She is just true silver. She's completely silver. It's so silver. And while I do appreciate that effect, nothing special. Number 8, traced off of Bunny Penny, is Dark Bunny Penny. Obviously, I was going back and I was doing all the skins I had previously drawn in a different, for the other model of Penny. I am now doing here with this one. And this one, I always prefer Dark Bunny Penny to Bunny Penny. And this one I actually did manage to fit on one page because I didn't underestimate its height this time around. It's got a hole right there and a hole right there and a hole right there. The only problem with this one compared to the other one is that the colors are so dark and gripping that they are kind of clashing with each other in a sense. There's not like anything particular that's like standing out in this version. So it doesn't. The other one looks better in paper form, I would say, than maybe this one does. I like the hat though. I do. But at the same time, again, it's just a lot of clashing colors, if you ask me. It's not cohesive the way the other one is. But it is my preferred in-game model between the two. And number 9. Who would have expected this? Who would have expected this? True Gold Penny. Just like True Silver, no different in size nor shape, but now golden. Now very, very golden. The only thing that may have been changed is if I decided in any capacity to tinker with certain shapes and whatnot to make it look smoother and more accurate. But otherwise, no different whatsoever. And that should mean, if my counting skills could be good for 2 seconds, that's right, that is 9 people, ladies and gentlemen. Hooray, I finally managed to do something like that for once. Whoop-de-doo. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite. We're continuing with Penny and the Brawl Stars in the next one before going into some more obscure Mario characters. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys with more of this very, very soon. More gaming, more vlogs, whatever else comes. I hope you enjoyed.